Hey guys, Abner Miranda here. Recently I got a chance to attend a class with Rich Nance of Wartac CQC, and in that class, which is very combatives in focus, there was a lot of footwork, a lot of handwork. There was vastly more fighting, because that's really what a struggle is. If you and I end up in a struggle, we're tied up in one another, bad breath range, right? This is known as fighting in the hole. We're close enough to just get in and start swinging at each other and punching at each other, and we're inflicting damage on each other very close. This is where something more like a knife really comes in handy more than a handgun does, because the knife has the ability to inflict far more damage in a very focused period of time really than a handgun does. But that's a discussion for another day. When we were in this class, one of the things that I noticed early on in the class was the stance that Rich kept taking, and last year when I was exposed to it, I remember thinking, I know this, and it got deprogrammed, if you will, out of me in the academy. As a police officer, we're trained to stand feet shoulders width apart, knees slightly bent, your rear end sticking out for ballast, and basically the draw stroke is support hand comes up to the chest, the pistol comes up, the two join together, you shoot, and it goes back. And the reason for that is the shooting line in law enforcement is always a very static thing. They don't want you moving because everyone has to carry a gun, and not everyone in law enforcement really should be carrying a firearm. So, as is the case in most military and paramilitary, which is law enforcement institutions, they have, the lowest common denominator type of training. And when you get into combatives training in a private setting, you're trained differently. And last year when Rich showed this to us, I kind of made a mental note and I forgot to show it to you guys, but I want to show it to you now. The stance that he teaches isn't this, isn't this. It's this. It's like he says, it's a pyramid. It's a wide pyramid. And your rear leg, for me, I'm a lefty, so my rear leg is going to be my left leg. The left leg is actually, the heel is off the ground so that I'm ready to take off. I'm ready to launch myself from this position. Because if I get in a position where something happens, I need to immediately be in balance. And here, if I take a hit, and I'm pushed back, my heel hits the floor and I still have somewhere to go as a shock absorber. But if both feet are planted on the ground and I take a hit, I'm rolled back onto my heels and I'm off balance. What's interesting about this position is it doesn't really matter if you're talking handgun or if you're talking rifle. It's the same exact shooting position. So now what's interesting is I think it's 55 classes into my time as the forever student. 55 classes now, and I am just getting to the point where I'm saying, wow, I'm finally to a point where I have the majority of my stuff squared away, and I'm still having to relearn things that I've either never been taught or learned incorrectly, and I'm having to pull that bad training out, discard it, and fill that spot with something positive. And look at where I end up at a force of habit, foot flat on the ground. So from here, I have to reposition in a fighting stance. It changes everything, guys. It totally changes everything that you do. It's irritating because it forces you to have to go back to the drawing board, to have to refigure what have I been doing right and what have I been doing wrong. Irritating, I get it. But guys, if you think you're ever going to reach a point where you're going to say, I've got it all figured out, you're deluding yourself. That day's never going to come. Take that from someone who's been doing this for a very long time. This is a constant learning process, guys. As always, I thank you for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns on practice. Have a good one.